Are you asking if we can see you, Queen Lillie Lane? We can see you
Yes,
fine. Yes,
you
yes,
can
yes.
you can see it.
We can see you. Yes.
Okay. And
All right.
mine is so small, you know why.
All right. We're going to count down now then.
Do what? I think I missed it. Yep, the entire screen maybe. That's why it's not big. But anyway, if you all can see me, that's fine. I don't need to see myself.
All right. All right. Wonderful. Enough, whole heap, plenty, a lot of love to all our queens and all our kings in the house. Really appreciate, really appreciate. Thank you all for joining us on this wonderful deep dive, globally changing lives webinar. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate. And of course, to commence our webinar deep dive on this Thursday, 25 September 2025. Of course, we are going to start with Lerato Shadari, in it to win it. And so please watch from our wonderful international singing recording artists.
Unicorn.
next stop is on passive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. Stand clear of the closing door. And as we have seen in our own news, some wonderful things is going to happen this weekend, September to remember. Wonderful things happening on Saturday, the 27th. So please stay tuned. Stay tuned. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Loretta Shadari. And of course, we are going to be moving right into our first presentation. And of course, that first presentation is none other than Queen Jacqueline Warner.
Yes, indeed.
And so, of course, we know that Queen Jacqueline Warner is an international speaker. She's an entrepreneur. Actually, she's one of those persons who was with Avon. And if you know anything about Avon, I believe that Avon is the first network marketing on the planet. Started in 1886. 1886. So if we think that network marketing is illegal, then I don't know why would that company be still around from 1886 until now, generating $6.1 billion a year revenue. So anyway, that's another presentation. And so she's a talk show host, and of course she's a grandmother of 9. And so she's going to be looking at lowering high blood pressure with simple, very simple changes in your life. And so therefore, without any further ado, we are going to now bring to the mic none other than Queen Dr. Jacqueline Warner. Yes, she's a naturopathic doctor.
Good evening,
Jacqueline.
good evening to all, everywhere, wherever you at. It's a pleasure for me to be here. Thank you, Dr. Derek, for this amazing platform where we dive deep. And thank you to the brand ambassadors / affiliates for your weekly support. And not only weekly, for years, you've been coming here to deep dive and supporting the speakers here of this platform. And it's such a privilege to bring the information to you. Also, we just want to thank Ash Mafara for making it possible for us to be together and sharing his vision and his mission. So we got to give him some thanks and show him some kudos for the great things that he's doing for this amazing journey. And then I want to thank our Heavenly Father most of all for making it also possible, because without him, none of us will be here. So we have to give him all the glory and all the praise for the great thing he continues to do in each and every one of our lives. And yes, tonight we're going to be talking about, hypertension. I'm talk about some simple things that actually does elevate our blood pressure that we do on a daily basis and totally unaware. And I know, like, when we go to the doctor, they just say, oh, your blood pressure high. They might ask, are you exercising? They might ask about your diet. But I know one thing, some might monitor it and say, well, let's take a look. And some would be ready to put you on medication without really finding out what's the problem, or what's the root of the problem, instead of just like they always say, put a Band-Aid on it or compensate it, which is the better term, instead of correcting the problem. So this evening, going to find out some simple things that actually does elevate our pressure, and the things that we can actually take control of and correct. Now, we already know that hypertension is a silent killer, or the silent assassinator,
So hypertension is commonly called high blood pressure and is often called the silent killer, which we all know. We have heard it for years. And why? Because many people live with it and don't even know until it causes serious problems like heart attack, a stroke, kidney failure, or aneurysm. And I know a lot. I work in a medical field for many years, and I have dealt with people with hypertension. I myself is diagnosed with hypertension, so I'm pretty much familiar with it. But here's the good news. Many of the daily habits that elevate our blood pressure are things we can change. So having hypertension or high blood pressure is not a death sentence, and you don't have to take medication for life. And practically, you don't probably have to take medication at all if you address the issues and correct them. So by making simple adjustments in lifestyle, both men and women, we can not only prevent hypertension, but we can also normalize the blood pressure naturally without medication. Okay, so let's look at some of these simple but powerful factors that actually elevates our blood pressure. And the first one, of course, is dehydration. You know, sometimes we think because we're drinking some lemonade or having a Gatorade or just a juice is going to help us from becoming dehydrated. But it doesn't work that way. We often believe drinking any liquid means that we're hydrated, but don't believe the hype. The body needs about 2.5 liters of pure water daily to function properly. And you know, I know some people like they overdrink. You know, they walk around with these more than a gallon of water and think they're doing justice, but sometimes they can be drowned in their system with too much water. But all we need, and it didn't say you got your body weight and how much you weigh, it said we need 2.5 liters of pure water daily to function properly. And without enough water, our blood becomes thicker. And it make it harder for the heart to actually pump the blood through the vessels. The dehydration also raises our aldosterone, a hormone that makes the kidneys retain sodium, which in turn puts pressure on the blood vessels. And you know, when you put pressure, they filled up because the kidneys is retaining the fluid. The blood vessels are getting huge. They're expanding, and they can pop like a balloon. And that's where aneurysm can come in, a stroke, a heart attack. That's what comes from when the blood vessel eventually pops like a balloon. It's like blowing up a balloon until it pops. And since our bodies are 70 to 80% water anyway, dehydration isn't just about being thirsty. It's a medical emergency for blood pressure. Why I say that? Because I remember, you know, little kids come to the clinic and their mouths, their lips are blue. They're dehydrated. They were suffering with high temperatures, but they were not getting no liquid into the body. And when they get to the hospital, they plug them up to an IV. And before you know it, they bounce right back like nothing ever took place. So dehydration is an emergency. And so we got to help ourselves to stay hydrated, not dehydrated. Okay. Number 2 is deficiencies. And we hear this over and over in many different aspects and different functions and diseases and all kinds of medical issues. But deficiencies, nutrient deficiencies also contribute to hypertension. And why? Because potassium deficiency disrupts the fluid balance in the body. Magnesium, known as the chill pill, It relaxes our muscles and blood vessels, yet about 80% of people are deficient. So it's not only for pain, help us with pain, but it helps to keep the muscles relaxed and keep the body in a calm environment, so everything could run smoothly. So if we don't have enough magnesium, our muscles are not relaxed, the blood vessels are not relaxed, and of course, that's what raises the blood pressure. Vitamin D deficiency. We probably think the sun is not that important, but God wouldn't have made it at all if it wasn't important at all. That it didn't serve a purpose. It's not only for light, but it helps the plants. It helps us. It helps everything on this earth has to deal with the sun, no matter what it is. Okay, so vitamin D deficiency is another overlooked factor. We take it for granted. Even on your lunchtime, you could go outside and you could get 15 minutes of sun. And not shaded sun, but direct sunlight. Put on your sunglasses, your little cap, and you get out there and get that sun. Okay, supplements can help, but they don't always correct the issue. And the best solution is nutrition, real food, not just pills. Correcting deficiencies through diet and lifestyle can bring the body back into balance. And that's what we want. We want our body to be in balance so it can function at its fullest capacity. And we don't have to worry about getting ill or a heart attack or a stroke. Next one is poor sleep and stress. They go hand in hand. Because chronic poor sleep leads to chronic stress, which drives up the blood pressure again. So when the body is restless, the cortisol, which is the stress hormone, remains high. Now, ways to restore rest and lower your stress include, you got to put away that phone. After a certain time, you say, this is my time to relax. I got to put that phone down. When we had the regular phones before we got cell phones, we never took them to bed. We never took them to the bathroom. We didn't take them everywhere we went. We had the phone locked on to us. It's almost closer than God. Because everywhere we go, the phones is right there with us. If we forget them at home, we definitely go home to get it. But when we had phones before, they stayed home. When we got back home, we got on the answering machine to see who called and who didn't call and delete what we didn't want to hear. But today, it's right at our fingertips, every minute, every second. So if you don't put away the phone, you're not relaxing and you're not going to get adequate sleep. You got to turn off the TV before you go to bed. I hear some people say, well, I need the TV, the television to go to sleep. When that came about, we started in times before now, we didn't have no TV. We went to bed at 7:00. We had a radio station that would come on and say a little prayer or children's story, and we was off to bed. So we're killing ourselves by following society, by doing what we think is norm when we know it's not norm. Avoid the blue light from constant strolling. Create a bedtime routine that promotes peace and calmness. So we can sleep, fall into a REM in peace and in harmony, and get up energized, feeling like we could conquer the entire world, not getting up and saying, man, I really don't feel like going to work today. I think I'm going to stay in the bed a little longer. I think I'm going to have a mental health day. I ain't doing this today. So that's right there showing that you had poor sleep. You didn't rest well. Sleep isn't just rest. It's medicine for the heart and the blood vessels. And that's what we got to look at sleep. It's a medicine. It's a healer. It's just not, I just got to put my head down, close my eyes for 4 hours and I'm good to go. That's what we're telling ourselves. But that's not what your body is saying. It's saying, I need more time. I need more rest. I got some work to do. Okay. We think only we got work to do, but the body got work to do too. The next one is toxic beverages, caffeine, number one. Energy drinks. People say that's because they ain't got enough sleep, or they done work one job and they run into the next job without even taking a rest. They didn't include themselves when they was looking for the job. They didn't include themselves when they said, hey, I need to make some extra money. But how am I going to fit myself into this schedule? How am I going to preserve my health at the same time so I don't burn my candle at both ends? And excessive coffee are stimulants. You know, they did coffee little shops is popping up everywhere. Not only moms and pops, Starbucks, Bella Coffee, girl, you name them, they all over the place. And people think it's so great. They just stop. They getting this coffee. Doesn't matter if it's $5 or $6 a cup. And that's add to the dehydration. That adds to the stress. That adds to the nutrition deficiencies. And you have the perfect storm for hypertension. And we thinking that hypertension just came from somewhere. We don't know where it came from. I don't know what's going on, doc. I don't know. I'm not doing this. I'm not stressed. I'm not this. I'm not that. But yet I have hypertension. Where did it come from? Alcohol. Alcohol is not our friend. You could take, not saying you can't have a drink socially, but not, some people drink that daily. Some people get up in the morning, that's their first coffee, you will call it. But alcohol also constrict the blood vessels. It steals the nutrients like the B vitamins, and it again raises the blood pressure. So all those like sugary juices that say zero sugar drinks that we just seen appear on the market and we had nothing to do with it, but we just running to get it because it says zero sugar. But yet it tastes so sweet and nasty. But people, you know what? They don't care. It says zero sugar. So I'm going to get my zero Coke and my zero Pepsi. I don't care what JW said, honey. I'm getting my zero sugar. You hear me? And they artificial sweeteners. And we don't get it. That we are self-destructing our own self. We sign in our death certificate before we even die. We ain't waiting on God. We ain't got time to wait on God. No, we ain't got time to wait for him. So don't believe the hype. It's all for them to make money in their pockets. They don't care about our lives. They don't care if we get cancer. They don't care if we got liver disease. They don't care if we got to get up 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the dialysis machine. They don't care. They care about them. They care about their children having the legacy. They don't care about us. It's just like, okay, that one gone. Next. They know God going to replenish the earth anyway, right? We got lots more people to go. Let's do this. So this still disrupt the body, the blood sugar, and the pressure levels. And don't think number 5, medication. Okay. Sometimes the very medication that we're taking is causing hypertension. Over the years, this can lead to a cycle of polymedicine. That means one drug added to correct the side effects of another drug. Some people are taking 9 and 10 medications at one time. They can't even figure out who is the culprit. All they know, they're not feeling well. My pressure is high. My blood sugar running high. Okay, let's try this. Ain't you tired of trying? We don't get tired of trying and not getting anywhere, not getting any better. So medications linked to higher blood pressure include birth control pills. Because we don't seem to understand that we're shutting something off that was supposed to function a natural way. And we continue just blocking everything. Ibuprofen. Oh, we're going to block that pain. But what is that pain? So what? Just think that the body is saying that you have to go through that pain to get to the next level. Pain relievers that cause all kind of problems to the stomach. Then they give you something to coat the stomach so you can take it. So they say that it doesn't affect it, but you don't have radioactive eyes to actually look and see, let me see if this really working. Only things outside the body we can actually recognize. Antidepressants. They're causing one, they're supposed to be healing. I can't say healing, but coating a problem, but making another. Okay, decongestion. You have a cough. You don't want to cough. So you said, you know what, I'm going to get a decongestion, but you need to cough because that mucus need to come out. But you're going to suppress the cough and you're suppressing the mucus, which Dr. Sebi said is the #1 disease, mucus. Then we got that ADD and ADHD stimulants, stimulating our children's minds where they're unable to even control. And now you have young kids saying they have hypertension. I think my grandson, my oldest one, I guess they diagnosed him the other day with hypertension. I said, well, where'd he get hypertension from? But lack of exercise, not going to bed on time. I know some of them already. That's where it come from. But we be acting like it's a secret, or not even a secret, like it's a surprise, because we don't know. No one took the time to teach us. These are the things that cause the problem. They can't teach you what caused the problem because they want you to come to them for the problem and make more of a problem. Even some asthma, those are steroids, and autoimmune drugs. Steroids damage you. I have seen that in New York, a nurse, I don't know, her back, something gave out. And when you look, they start giving her steroids. Less than 6 months, she was dead. The woman just blew up. You can see that in kids that take asthma, they just blow up. They become obese, and nobody's saying, they got asthma. You don't see the reason. What's the reason for the asthma? Always consider the side effects when evaluating long-term prescriptions. Okay, then you got elevated blood sugar and insulin. Refined carbs, we love them. Breads and pasta and sugary drinks spike our blood sugar. And we figure, well, that's a whole nother topic by itself. It don't have anything to do with hypertension, but it does. This raises the insulin, which activates the nervous system, causing the kidneys to hold on to the sodium. And that sodium retention means more fluid in the blood vessels. That means it's stretching them and raising the blood pressure. So it's no surprise that 80% of diabetics also have hypertension. So controlling the blood sugar is just as critical as watching your salt intake. And it's the kind of salt. I mean, sodium is sodium, but some of it out there is bad, and we don't know it's bad. They tell you can use it for ants and all kind of other insects. So what is it doing to us? Then another one is lack of sunlight. It's too hot outside. I hear people complain. The reason it's so hot outside that you stay in AC 24/7. You get up in it, you go to bed in it, and you don't know how much is contaminating the whole your complete system. So a little heat, you already feel like you're burning up. A little heat. And we are sun people. We are sun people. We're not people of darkness. We are people of light. Sunlight isn't just about being warm. It helps regulate the vitamin D and the circadian rhythm. Without it, our blood pressure rises. And the circadian rhythm is basically sun. We are people of the sun. So the body was designed to be in rhythm with the sun. Now we can't say that for the people who live in Australia because they only get a little bit of sun, but I'm sure they have a way when that sun comes that they make sure that they enjoy every bit of it. So when we lose that rhythm, our health, especially our heart health, suffers. Next one is obesity and a sedentary lifestyle, excess fat, especially around the belly, which is the visceral fat. That creates inflammation and pressure on the organs, raising the blood pressure again. The vascular system depends on movement. So without exercise, the blood pools in the legs and return the flow to the heart is reduced. So all when that flow reach to the little tips of our toes and ankles, because we don't have no movement, we're not doing anything, the blood is hard for it to return, to flourish through our body, to flow through our system. And then we wonder where all this is coming from. The calf of your muscles act as a pump, but only if you move. If you don't move, it doesn't act like a pump. Okay? So simple movement like walking, stretching, or climbing stairs keeps circulation strong and our pressure in check. So in conclusion, hypertension is not just about genetics or fate. It's about daily habits, dehydration, poor nutrition, lack of sleep, stress, stimulants, medications, sugar, lack of the sun, and inactivity are all factors within our power to change. We can change each and every one of them, and it's not difficult. We deem it difficult. That's the mindset. We think, yeah, it's difficult. I can't do this. That's too hard. Well, it's best to do what's hard than to do what's going to kill us in the long run and make us suffer and be a burden to others. We don't want to be a burden to other people. So if we correct these, we not only reduce our blood pressure, but we also strengthen the heart and we nourish the vessels and restore our health. So I thank you so much for your listening here. I hope this information you can share it with us. You can use it for yourself. And you could tell, people that suffer with hypertension, you could tell them, hey, are you stressing? Are you getting adequate sleep? Are you drinking enough water? When I worked in a clinic and we had a client, he always come in with his pressure 200 and over. And the first thing my doctor did, give him some water, Jackie. That's the first thing she will tell me. Give him some water and sit him down. And I used to give him water and sit him down. Now we can even add deep breathing. All that helps in bringing the blood pressure to check. So I thank you again. Thank you, Dr. Derek, for this amazing platform. And enjoy the rest of the webinar.
All right. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Mercy, thank you very, very ever so much. Next week, I'm going to have to get on the horn and speak with Rick to bring some of those wonderful features into meeting, like clapping and all those things. Because, oh my goodness, we do miss those things. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. Queen Dr. Jacqueline L. Warner for that wonderful mindset on health. Really appreciate, really appreciate, really, really appreciate. And I see that Queen Yvonne Finn, Professor Yvonne Finn, is aiming to say something. I can see it in I can see it in your eyes. You mean to say something? So
No,
go ahead.
this is one of my favorite kind of message because it's as adults, our health is not about the doctors or about anybody else. It's things that we are supposed to learn. And if anything, we work in tandem with them, but not they're not our gods. They can't. Anyways, this is a real eye-opening message, and I really love how encouraging it is because you put it back in our hands, telling us the daily simple things that we can do. You know, if we don't do those things, no matter what else we're running around doing, we're not making any impact. And as you said, that key part there, which is what many responsible people are worried about, especially as you get older, you do not want to be a burden to anyone, whether that's wrong or right. It's a fact. We don't want that. And we have it in our power to stay as healthy as we can for as long as we can. God gave us that power, right? Because He gave us a sound mind. That's what I'm always sticking to, right? And when you have messages like these, absolutely, there are little things that we can do. So I really appreciate that. Thank you. It is very impactful and very encouraging. Thank you, Dr. Derek.
You're welcome, Queen Yvonne Finn. Appreciate
Thank you.
Nice, wonderful, wonderful. All right, thank you very much, Queen Professor Yvonne Finn.
Thank you, sir.
Wonderful, awesome. Anyway, moving right along. What some persons are here for also is this wonderful, beautiful, lovely lady. Hey, oh my goodness! Didn't know that she was a woman of penmanship. Have her own book, and it's on
Amazon.
it's on Amazon. You know, I wonder if you know. No.
Yes, I know. We have hidden talents, Dr. Derek. Not everybody tells you everything, you know. There are lots of us out here with books in case you don't know.
Let me bring her up to speed. Let me bring her up to speed. Wonderful man. Oh my goodness. Book big time on Amazon.
Yes,
Listen, when your book is on Amazon Kindle, not just
yeah,
Amazon, but Amazon Kindle, then
exactly.
you know that you luge in Jamaica. In Jamaica, we say you luge. You know that is a step higher than large, right?
Yes.
A step higher than extra large. When you have large, you have extra large, and you have 3x large and all those. But then you run out of extra large. You have to go to luge, right? You have to go to luge. And so we just want to recognize that Queen Yvonne Finn
Queen Lillie
is
Lane.
Lillie Queen Lillie Lane. Oh, you
Keeps me.
Queen Yvonne Finn, you're distracting me.
Can I,
I didn't say a word.
can I get 2 cents worth?
Okay, go ahead, Queen Violet.
All I see is your shoulder, and
My
maybe
shoulder.
back up here. Yeah,
Oh, my
your
shoulder.
right. Yeah, like on screen, all I see is your right shoulder.
Okay, so you're on a phone.
Yes.
All right, that's your problem.
Oh, that's my problem. Okay, excuse me.
Your problem. Your phone.
By the way, congratulations for tomorrow.
You need to adjust your phone setting or something. I tell you, amen.
Okay,
Church.
I'll shut up.
Yeah,
Bye.
you need to adjust your phone screen or your phone setting or your phone. Maybe you need to, move something or something. All right, or turn it sideways. Turn it what do you call that now? Landscape. Turn it landscape and see if it
vertical,
it
yeah.
looks
Vertical.
okay.
She said congratulations to
Yeah.
you, Dr. Derek.
You're right. It does. It's better. Yeah, congratulations for tomorrow.
Thank you very much. That means you maybe have one of those like a flip phone. So you or you have one of those like a small screen phone. So you have to turn it and so it adjusts. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Violet. Really appreciate, really appreciate. Yes, I am going to have a Catawampus time little later on. Woo! I tell you. Mm. Mm.
Mm.
Few years well now. Few years well, me no do nothing. Anyway, different presentation, different presentation.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Oh, we were talking about you see that is why business must not be less than 18 people,
Yeah.
because we talk business. That you see that is a big business scenario right there a while ago. Anyway, right.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
so
mhm.
and so at this time, we are going to give you a different style of intro that I tell you, when you luge, you luge, you understand. I have never seen this type of an intro. I cannot even give the intro. The intro is so dynamic that I can't give it. All right. So listen carefully at Queen Professor Lillie Lane intro at this time.
From a modest home in Blackshear, Georgia, to a life of profound accomplishment. This is the inspiring story of Lillie W. Lane. Amid the challenges of a large family and economic hardship, Lillie learned the values of hard work, resilience, and determination. Fueled by an unshakable faith, Lillie pursued higher education, earning multiple degrees and breaking barriers. With perseverance, she overcame obstacles, mastering new skills to turn dreams into reality. Rising through the ranks in her federal career, Lillie became a trailblazer, consolidating operations and mentoring future leaders. Her impact extended beyond the office, teaching communities financial literacy and empowering others to achieve success. Anchored in faith and community, Lillie's story reflects her commitment to giving back and uplifting those around her. From her role as a devoted mother and grandmother to her professional triumphs, Lillie's life is a tapestry of love, leadership, and purpose. With every step, she overcame challenges, built a legacy, and shared her story to inspire future generations. Discover the extraordinary journey of Lillie W. Lane, a story of faith, perseverance, and the power of a dream. From humble beginnings, a woman's will to succeed. Available now.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Mercy. Thank you very much. So why I couldn't do that intro. Thank you very much, Queen Lillie Lane, for all that you do. You are definitely a very humble woman. And I thank you very much for gracing us with your presence in this capacity as an author, as a writer. Over to you, Queen Lillie Lane.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. And greetings to each of you. After listening to the video, I feel that all I have to say now is I've had some good days. I've had some hills to climb. I had some weary days and sleepless nights. But when I look around and think things over, all my good days outweigh my bad days. And I come to you tonight, I won't complain. I appreciate the opportunity of you all who knew I was supposed to do something that showed up anyway. From humble beginning, a woman's will to succeed. And I'm not going to keep you long, but I just want to tell you a little about my background. And that is, I was born into a family where my parents had 14 children, 7 boys and 7 girls. And I was number 6. All 14 of us went beyond high school. I have a brother who was an author. Many of us had master's degrees. And everyone went beyond, whether it was trade school or whatever. So let me tell you a little about my childhood. I was born in a very small, and you saw in the video, talked about the small town. But I realized that it doesn't matter where you're born in terms of the size of the city. It doesn't matter to the number of children in the family. If you're motivated, those things will not play a negative part in your career in terms of what you're trying to do. I've had some good days, as I said, and I've had some not so good. But I want to tell you a little about some of the things that I had to do in order to get through the situation. Started in elementary school, I tell people that I was always born this height. So I played basketball, and I was pretty good. In 7th grade, I remember that we had a girl that was very good on our team. And during that time, parents didn't take those kinds of things serious. They wanted you to get an education, and so they didn't look at that too favorably. So the day we were supposed to have a game, our teammate said that I'm not going to be able to play today because my grandmama did her laundry, and my jeans are on the line and they're wet. And I always felt that I could solve problems, whatever they were. So I said to her, I said, let's go to your house at lunchtime, because during that time we would leave school and go to lunch. And I said to her, when I talk to your grandma, you go on the line and put on the wet jeans, put them on under your skirts. So she did that. We went back to school, played the game, and we won. Throughout life journey, can you imagine a family of 14 children where other people with much smaller families would call and tell my mom, can you send me some rice? Can you send me some flour, whatever it is? And I couldn't understand how they would ask my parents for food, and they had less children than we did. But my father and mom, I grew up in a religious home, and they were very, very, when it came to actually their religion, they truly believe in the supreme, which was God. So my father would hire people to plant a garden. And once the garden is ready to pick, he would just invite the community to come over and pick what they wanted to pick. We probably qualified for every welfare program there was. With that number of children, we couldn't help but qualify. But we never thought about being the recipient of those things. We always tried to find a way how to live. And because of that, we would not eat free lunches at school. We would not. My parents, and during that time, we stayed around the corner from the school. So my parents would prepare food, and one of my brothers would go to the house, pick up the food, bring back. We would go in one of the classrooms and eat. So we would not. Another place we would not eat. We would not eat at churches. When they would have like meetings, and I think we got that from my father because he wouldn't do it either. So when my mom would prepare food to share with other members of the church, she had to do a 2 baskets, one for us and one that she shared with other people. Now, when I played basketball in high school, I had one sister who received a scholarship in basketball. And I did not want to play basketball enough to get well, at one time I said that I wanted to be a phys ed coach, but that didn't happen. So when I came along, my oldest brothers finished high school and they went into service. They sent my oldest sister because my next sister received a scholarship, so they didn't have to help her. So now it's time for me. I was the sixth child, and then now it's time for me to go to college. Well, I finished high school. I didn't know how I was going to get to college. My oldest sister sent me 2 years. And it was funny because I have an aunt because my grandfather remarried and he had a daughter that was my age. So we were supposed to be going to this college together, this 2-year business school. And I was supposed to be staying with them. When I got to Florida, my aunt had already left and gone to Tallahassee to attend FAMU. And they didn't tell me because they thought that if they had told me that, I would not have wanted to stay and go to school. So I said to them, only the law can stop me from taking advantage of this opportunity. So my sister sent me 2 years. And after 2 years, well, when I first got to school, it seemed that everybody could type but me. We were in, because I didn't take typing in high school. That was not what I wanted to do, but she told me that she would send me to business school for 2 years. And I took advantage of that. Well, I graduated from business school. I was taking shorthand at 120 words a minute. I was typing at 82 words per minute. So I went back to my hometown, no car, no money. The only thing I returned with was the 2-year education and some different clothes. So I'm sitting there now wondering, what am I going to do? I don't want to waste 2 years that I've gone. So there was a bus driver, school bus driver. He was driving when I left 2 years ago. I called him on the phone and I said, do you have any extra seats on the bus? And he said, yes, you got somebody you want me to pick up? And I said, I'll get back with you. So what I did is I picked up the phone, called my high school principal, and I told him that I had just finished college, 2 years, didn't want to lose my shorthand typing skills. And I wanted to know, could I volunteer in his office as his secretary? And he immediately said yes. Now, watch this. No car, we're talking about 12 miles from where I live. So he called me back and said, yes, you can do that. So now I got to figure out, how am I going to get 12 miles? No money to pay somebody, no street buses. So I thought, okay. I called him back and I said to him, I said, I don't have any transportation. And I contacted the bus driver and he told me there's seats on the bus. So what I'm wondering if you and the superintendent would give me permission to ride the bus, serve as a bus aide, because they had no bus aides during that time, serve as a bus aide. And then when I bus get to the school, I can get on and be your secretary. So he called me back, said, talk to the superintendent. The superintendent said, yes, that's good. So I'm excited, getting ready to get my first job, even though I wasn't getting paid, but I was excited about the opportunity because I wanted to see what it looks like when you need a job. How do you apply and these kinds of things. So what happened? I rode the bus. When the bus got to the school, I got off, went in there, and began to be the secretary. And one of my sisters was the business teacher. And what we would do when the principal did things I didn't like, I would send my sister a note shorthand because nobody else could read it if they tried it. So that happened for a month, maybe about a month. And at the end of that month, he called me in his office, and I thought, oh my goodness, he's going to tell me I can't do it any longer. But you will see in the book, the superintendent told him to hire me, put me on the payroll, and pay me retroactive for the month that I worked. And that was the beginning of my first job that Social Security was coming out. Now, mind you, prior to that time, I did pick cotton, but there were no Social Security coming out of that. So that was my first job. And I worked there until another job came open, and I was teaching people how to become a telephone operator. I worked in a doctor's office, and I was what the doctor created a position for me called medical counselor. And what that was, each morning he would call me in his office and he would tell me the number of patients. And so I would go to the desk, pick up the charts, and I would go in the room and I would say what he told me to say. When one day they had moved the patient out of the room where they said was, and when I walked in, there was a patient that was struck by lightning. And that was the end of my counseling. And so he didn't like the fact that I didn't have enough whatever you needed to do that, but that was never something that I could do. So we went on from there, and I became a secretary in the school system. From that, I became a county coordinator. And this is where I began to face real challenges. Supervisor and I had some real issues, challenges for me, but issues for her. So they called a meeting, her supervisor, which was my second level. And we started the meeting. I asked him, could he record the session? And I said, absolutely. So he started talking about it. He heard that I said I would do X, Y, Z, and that kind of stuff. So when it was our turn, he said, does each one of you have anything you want to say? And I said, Elizabeth, go ahead. Because I knew when my time came, that was going to end that session. I knew that because I was listening very well. So anyway, she said she didn't have anything that she wanted to say. And I said, I do. I thanked him for the meeting and told him that I knew that there was a need for that. And I appreciate the fact that he called. So anyway, when I got started, I asked a question. I said to him, are we going to deal with what we heard? Are we going to deal with what actually happened? And I said, the reason I asked, because I heard that you told some of the staff members not to have lunch with me. Something happened to the tape recorder. And what he did, he rewinded it. I know exactly what he did. He rewinded. So he said, hold on just a minute. The machine is stuck. So I said, okay. And so he said, okay, it's ready. I said, well, let me repeat because I want to make sure that it was recorded what I said. He stopped the machine. We became the best employees he had. And he complimented us and told us that we could solve our problem because we were intelligent enough to do it. So long story short, for those of you who read the book, you'll see what ended up being, what came out of it. But one of the things that I found that as I was growing and working, when you win one situation, plan for the next one. I knew something going to follow it. So one day we had an IG inspection. At the IG inspection, somebody made the statement that managers need training. He thought it was me because I did express that in one of the staff meetings, but I didn't talk to the IG inspections about that, but he assumed it was me. So what he did is he gave me a letter, told me to meet the board of directors because I refused to respond to his letter. Well, I was serving at that time as the EO officer for the state. And I called the chief of human rights that lived in Atlanta and said, I need somebody to go to this board meeting with me. And I told them all about the situation. Long story, we went to the board meeting and they know we're their visitors. So they said, we see we have a visitor tonight and we would like for them to introduce themselves. So the gentleman stood up and he said, my name is Jim Hammond. I'm from the Human Rights Office. And I was sent here to attend this meeting and I will be advising them on this meeting upon my return. I said to him, they didn't call me my situation. And I said, should I remind them? He said, absolutely not, absolutely not. Well, until this day, that never came up. So now I'm planning for the third because I know something else gonna follow that. So one day I was sitting in my office and I used to work with the JCs with many of the community projects, and this was volunteer. And I called the president of the JCs and the vice president and asked them to stop by my office. They did. And I said, told them all about what this man was doing. They said, well, we don't supervise him. I said, I know. I said, here's some questions. I want you all to invite him to your meeting. And I want you to ask these questions. And I want you to have, I don't know, I think every town has a newspaper that will put anything out there. I said, invite that newspaper. Well, the next morning in the headline, J.H. McQuaid on the flyer with St. Simon JC. He ended up resigning. So that was the only way of dealing in that situation. My parents believed in curfew, and I'm skipping because I can't talk about the whole book. You don't want to hear it all anyway. But anyway, they believed in curfew. So one day I asked my parents, I never had a whipping. My parents never had a spanking or whatever. We call it back that time a whipping. So I never had one. I asked my mother, could I go to the movie? Well, their curfew, it didn't matter what time you left home. You honored that curfew if you didn't stay for 10 minutes. So the movie was really good. And I thought, I am not going home before this movie ends because I want to see the end. So I sat there, and when the movie was over, by the time I would get home, my curfew would be up. So on my way going home, I began to think, and I said, you know what? My mama loved tripe sandwiches, and she loved RSC sodas. So there was a little, we call it a jug. So I went, stopped there, and I brought my mama a tripe sandwich and a soda. When I got to the house and I reached for the knob of the door to open the door started coming over. I mean, she was on the other end. So I said, here, Mom, I bought this sandwich. She said, oh, thank you, honey. I had it made then. I had it made. And you talking about somebody getting ready for bed, but while she was eating that tripe sandwich, I got in the bed because I had to do that. Yeah, I had to do that. So so I went on, and one of my goals was to end up working for the federal government. I took all kinds of tests working for the government, and they were offering me positions, but at the time I was divorced with 2 daughters, and I could not afford to accept the position. Plus, they were so temporary. So I would pass those opportunities up because I could not do that. I began to say, now something gotta happen. So what I did was I went to my supervisor And I asked him if I could accumulate enough hours, like annual leave hours, if I could carry over enough so that I would be able to go back to school and work at the same time because I couldn't afford to go to school without working with two daughters. They gave me permission. I saved up, accumulated enough hours that I was able to work half a day, take a half day of leave, drive 82 miles to the college, 82 miles back. And I did that for 2 years. So I got my undergrad degree that way. 1 year later, I did the same thing and to get my master's. And you will see in the book the kind of things that I did. So when I was getting my master's, my oldest sister, the one that sent me to school, she was a teacher in Florida. And what she had to do, they had to take classes to renew the certificates or something. So she and I took a class together because she could choose her class, but I couldn't because I was. So when I graduated with an undergrad degree in business administration and my master's in administration and supervision. So I kind of felt that I'm going to be able to manage life because I've proven that I could create my own job. I could do a lot of things. So then I was sitting in my office one day and an announcement came across my desk for budget and accounting analyst. So that was my first job in the federal government. I was hired as a budget and accounting analyst. And that was the last time I actually applied for a job. So during that time, we had what we call an IG inspection. That's what they call it. And the gentleman that was responsible for actually assessing the area that I was responsible for said that he wanted me to come to Maryland because I'm in Georgia now. And he called and I told no. With the government, those of you who work for understand that you don't have to apply for a job if they have a thing called lateral. That means you go with the same salary that you're making. I couldn't live in Maryland on the Georgia salary, so I didn't want it. So then he asked me if I would come and assess his operation. Well, I jumped for that. So I went and stayed about 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, I briefed he and the CO. And the CO said to me, so when you come in to fix these things you're talking about, I looked at the personnel office, I looked at accounting office, I looked at the procurement, looked at receiving, property, and so those are the areas that I reviewed while I was there. I went on back to Georgia. Later on, I got a call and said that we have upgraded that position. In fact, we created a different position so that so I said to him, I said, so what's going to happen next year? He said, next year you get another raise. And during the year, I'm going to give you what we call quality step increases. That means you're moving up on the ladder. I said, well, how long are you going to do that? He said, I'll do it as long as you're here. Long story short, I ended up retiring as a GS-15. And what happened the first year I retired, they created another position for me because they didn't want me to leave. So I retired with the federal government under 2 different retirements. And because of during the time I was working, many of the different bases, I was on what they call on loan. I went to California several times. I went to Virginia several times. I went to New Jersey several times, helping them understand how to create goals, how to evaluate employees, the whole 9 yards when it came to HR, how the interviews should be done and that kind of thing. So in fact, I stayed so long in China Lake, California, I told them, if I don't go back home, I'm not going to have a job because they're going to realize they can do without me. But so that was a successful. And while I was there, this is what was so interesting. I didn't know anybody, didn't even know the CEO asked for me only because he had heard about my work. So when I got there, I asked one of the employees, I said, I need you to brief me on such and such a project because I want to inform the CEO. And he said to me, I'm tired of trying to prove myself. So I thought, oh, wow, okay. So I said, well, if that's what you feel that you're doing, don't worry about it. So he left me stupid enough to leave my office. So he left office and I picked up the phone. I called the CEO and I said, Captain, I need to come talk to you because I got a problem here in this department. And so he said, come on. I went there and I said to him, I said, you need to reassign this person because he's not a fit for this position and this department. And sure enough, by 2 o'clock that day, he was gone. They reassigned. I had another one to do the same thing. He was drinking on the job. And he told me, the CEO told me I could drink. I said, Captain, you telling people that they could drink on the job? So he said, no. I said, he needs to be transferred to. So then it's almost like you heard this man say you spank one child and frighten the whole class. Well, everybody that was doing things they should not have been doing because they didn't know me and I didn't know them. But I always took my job very serious, whatever it was. If there are rules, we follow the rules. And I think I had one of the best staff that anybody could have. In the beginning, they didn't understand. But I feel that a person can be a supervisor if all you got to do is treat people like you want to be treated. So when I first went there, I set up a system with evaluation. They had to evaluate themselves and they had to evaluate me. I had to evaluate myself and I had to evaluate them. Now, if I gave them a score higher than what they gave themselves, we didn't need to discuss that because my score was the one that was remained. But if they gave themselves a score higher than what I gave them, then we need to talk about it because I needed to understand what did I miss. And sometimes I missed it, and sometimes I didn't miss it. But if I missed it, I changed my score and gave them whatever we agreed on. And from that point, they began to think, "Oh, wow, I like this. I like this." But and so the professional path, when I began to climb the corporate ladder, I never forgot where I came from. I always reflect back that it's important that I understand that there are people who are human just like me. And I always said that I cannot move that ladder unless I help somebody. So if I'm going to help somebody up the ladder, I got to move from the ground. Because if I'm pulling your hand every step of the way, I got to move. And because of that, I had one of the best staff. My last job was the Regional Human Resources Director. I had several naval and Air Force bases. At each base, I had to work with the commanding officer, deputy commanding officer, deputy director, and a team of legal team. So that means 7 legal teams, 7 commanding officers, 7 deputy commanding officers. And it was a real challenge. But one of the things that I did in order to win all 7 of those, I would always wanted to meet when a new one come on board because you know what they do, they stay 2 years and you transfer it out. But I always wanted to give them an overview. And this was my pet thing. Captain, you will never make a mistake in HR because you got me and you got the best. And that's what I would tell them. So I said, anything that you want done, it can be done. If it's legal, I can get it done for you. And I had some of the best CEOs. Uh, and, and, and another thing that I did that stood up with them is the fact that the base would have what we call battle of command, where different commands will compete against each other in activities. I was able to get one of the professional players at that time. He was playing for the Denver Broncos. I got him to come and participate in those activities. Then the very next year, he had moved to the Baltimore Ravens. And so I had him twice from two different professional teams. And you know, most people like football, and that's what he was, football player, professional football player. So he would report to the gate. I would go pick him up, turn him over to the CO. I couldn't do no wrong. I could not do it wrong. Even if I wanted to, I could not do it wrong. But I never, in fact, probably I would probably still be working right now if it was for my daughters. They felt that it was time for me to stop working, so I did it. Yeah. So anyway, in my book, you also going to find I talked about all 14 of my sisters and brothers, all 13 of my sisters and brothers. I made the 14, and I talked about what they did. You also going to find in my book that I thank Dr. Derek, Dr. Patient, Dr. Patient, you all. I talked about the team. I couldn't name everybody, but I talked about the team and what a joy it is for me right now to meet with you all. And even though I don't say a lot, but the fact that I'm coming is an indication that I enjoy what you all are doing, the information that you're sharing with us. I enjoy it very, very well. I enjoy it very well. So, as I said earlier, throughout my journey, I realized that life really hands us things on a silver platter. Not too often. I had never been experienced with that, where I was having something on the silver platter. As a believer, I learned that prayer don't always translate to yes, but sometimes the answer is wait, or even the answer could be no. So throughout my life, I have experienced yes, no, and wait. So that is the end of what I want to talk about tonight about that book. And I hope that what I have said was not too boring to you all. And thank you so much for this opportunity. And I will see you all later.
It's anything but
Wonderful.
boring, Queen Lillie Lane. Anything but boring. Ah, my gosh.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Wonderful. That was more than amazing.
I'm telling
Amazing. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Lillie Lane.
You're
That
welcome.
was awesome. Awesome.
Yes,
Awesome.
Thank you.
yes, yes, yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. I have the pleasure of hearing that story twice, Queen.
Oh.
Oh, mercy.
Oh,
It was a while back.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
It
All
sounds
right.
like
Thank you
a
very much.
hero's journey, a hero's
I'm telling
journey.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
it was
Amazing.
good.
Yep.
It was
That
good.
was a fabulous, fabulous journey. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And then
I
much
can
more
imagine.
there that I did. I talked about it. We never lived in a place where we had relatives. It was just 14 children, mom and dad.
Mm.
So whatever game we wanted to play, we had enough to
At
play.
each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Wonderful.
Amazing.
Enough for two basketball team. Enough
Hey.
for two.
Football.
enough for 2 volleyball team.
Yep.
Right.
7
Enough.
and 7, boy.
You have enough to play any game
Any
that you
game.
want to play. Wonderful. All right. Thank you very much, Queen Lillie Lane. That was awesome. Any comments? Oh, right. I know that Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford must want to say something.
Yes, praise God. First of all, I want to say to Queen Jacqueline Warner, you've been promoted to doctor. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
You've been giving us all of this information. Is it
Oh
MD?
my God.
Dr. Jacqueline Warner, MD?
Oh my
What is
God.
it? Holistic. I'm sorry, you're a
Holistic. Yes.
holistic doctor.
Holistic.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, you have you always bring
ND.
it. You always bring it with realness, a lot of information, and what you do is you just raise our consciousness about our health. I'm pretty sure that many of us on this platform, from following you and being on this platform, we know a lot about our health, but sometimes it needs to be reiterated. We need to be reminded. Okay, are you walking? Are you drinking enough water? Are you going to bed? Are you turning off your devices? You may say, I already knew all that, but we need to be reminded sometimes. So you always bring it home, and you're very authentic in your deliverance. I see the passion, and I really do appreciate you so much. You've been a gem. You're a gem to this platform. Thank you. Thank you so much, Queen Jackie. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Queen Lillie Lane. So are you Dr. Queen Lillie Lane now or what?
No.
Okay, Lillie Lane, first of all, congratulations. It is an achievement to become an author. That's nothing to take lightly. I mean, when you become an author, it's like you're an expert.
Yep.
You become an expert in your area. And then for you to share your life story, thank you so much for taking us on your journey, because I know that you are a professional woman. You're a classy woman. You're an example to us as a woman of maturity. You've been an example to us, and we appreciate you. And I'm just so proud that you took the time to share your first book with our platform, because I know Dr. Derek opens up many opportunities for all of us. And I thank him for what he's done with my books and my magazine. So Lillie Lane, you're awesome. Thank you for your journey. Thank you for your authenticity. Thank you for your humility. And just thank you so much for sharing. And I'm very, very proud of you. And Dr. Derek, I need to say this to you, Dr. Derek. Congratulations. Amen. Congratulations to the power couple. I cannot think of two better people to be together than Queen Miriam and Dr. Derek Clark.
Yes.
Congratulations to you all. And I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Now I have a question. Don't get mad at me. I have a question. Now, I'm hoping you guys are taking the honeymoon. So are we having deep dive next Tuesday? Or are you going to be on your honeymoon?
You better be on your honeymoon.
You better be on your honeymoon. What are we doing next Tuesday?
We will be on honeymoon, but the program must go on. This is our family. And so Mindset Monday will be going on. And of course, I mean, the weekend is long enough to take care of some intimate business. So 2 hours, 2 hours or a hour Monday and 2 hours Tuesday. Hour Monday and 2 hours Tuesday, right there on the honeymoon. We just want to share with the family. So that's all right. That's all right.
Okay. Well, I guess I should be sending you my topic then. I'm due to speak next Tuesday. So do I just send my topic like I normally do on Friday tomorrow?
Yeah,
and you'll get it?
Man.
Okay,
yes,
thank you. Well, congratulations to you. God bless you all. I can't think of two better people to come together. You're going to have an awesome life. And God bless you. Thank you so much. Bless you all.
Wonderful. Well, you all need to come on Mindset Monday because we will be sitting side by side. Not side by side we stand. We'll be side by side we sit.
Amen.
So you'll be able to see me sitting first on Mindset Monday.
Praise God.
As we share the love. Because remember, it is abundance in love.
Amen.
Yes.
Abundance in love.
Praise God.
So come share the love with us. Come share the love with us.
All right.
And I have one more last comment to make. I really like this platform. I had a little issue trying to get in, but eventually it allowed me just to click on it and I came in. Do I need to sign up for this or do I just click the link and come in? I don't know what happened. Just click the link. Okay. All right. I like this platform. I like it. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Derek.
Just click the link. Don't try to sign in or sign up or sign over or sign on top. Just, well, if you're going to be on a phone, they're going to ask you to download the app.
Yeah.
But from once it's on the computer, just click the link, write your name or type your name, and continue.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Derek.
No need to sign up or anything.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bless you guys. Bless you.
I mean, if you like it and want to use it instead of Zoom, because it is much more cost effective than Zoom.
And it looks nice. I like it. It looks very nice. I'm looking at the platform.
Nice and clean.
Looks very nice.
Yeah. So
I like it.
It's $14.95 a month, or that's one package, and that's for 200 participants, and $49.95 for 1,000.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Derek. Bless you. Okay.
Yeah.
I will be quiet now unless someone else speak.
Better than Zoom. Zoom is like 400 and something for 1,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So very good. Very good. Anyway, any other questions or comments? Thank you very much, Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford. Thank you very much for all your comments and all that you would say. And thank you very much. Any other comments? Anything? Let me take a look in the chat. Dr. Derek, congratulations and jubilations. Amazing Queen Lillie Lane. Love is in the ear. Oh my goodness. An excellent presentation. Delroy, very informative. Delroy Tomlinson. All right. So it's just a lot of accolades and so on and so forth, and thanking and what have you. Wonderful. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate. And of course, we're just going to ask Queen Jacqueline Warner, the naturopathic doctor. So that's ND, naturopathic doctor. All right. To give her last comment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Derek. Amazing, and I must say congratulations also to you again, to Queen Miriam and you, and I wish God continue to bless both of you and guide your very step throughout this journey of love. Lillie Lane, Queen Lillie Lane, amazing. Thank you for sharing your story with us. A matter of fact, it almost like you took us on that same journey. Thank you for your humility and your heart for sharing with others and want to help others, and for your professionalism on how you handle things. You just took the bull by the horn every time. You didn't question, you didn't ask, you just did what needed to be done. Like you said, as long as it's legal, it's honest, it's true. So amazing. Thanks for sharing. And I got to read your book. And my closing thoughts, and I just have some biblical reference to go along with it, is the Bible reminds us in John 3, chapter 1, verse 2, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. So God's desire is for us to live in health. When we honor his design for our bodies through water, sunlight, rest, nourishment, and movement, we align with his wisdom. So let's take control of the things that we can take control. And like God says in his word, and the things that we can't control, we leave it for him. He said, lay your burdens at the cross. So let's I think when we have not only our mind, the right mindset, but if we have a godly mindset, I think we will already be aligned, and we will follow the things instead of follow man. We need to follow God, and we will live the abundance and prosperous and loving life that He ordained for each and every one of us. So enjoy the rest of the webinar, and again, thanks to all.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Jacqueline Warner. All right, wonderful. So closing thoughts, Queen Lillie Lane. Over to you.
I would just like to say that let us not be afraid of giving. Giving is in my DNA. I can't help it. Two things happened within the last month, with this month. Well, the month of August and early September. One was my family reunion. We have a family reunion every year. And many times the elderly would like to go to the family reunion, but they don't want to fly. So my daughter and one of my sisters decided they're going to have what they call this popcorn sale. And they were really kind of hesitant about doing it. And I said to them, I said, the bus going to go whether I have to pay for it or not. I said, so you all go for it, but don't go being afraid. I said, go on and do what you need to do. Long story short, it's only a 4-day activity. You know, to sell the popcorn, it's going to last 4 days. At the end of the 4 days, they had all they needed except $425. But I stepped out on faith. Then the other thing that just happened is that's going on now. One of my nephews is renting one of my houses. I have been trying to qualify him so that he can purchase the house. I don't want him paying me rent. So what I did this week, I contacted the mortgage company and I said, what is keeping him from buying this house? Well, I found out that those scores are very, very, very low. And he would never be able to buy it. And I don't want to leave here with my daughters having to worry about rental property. So I came up with a deal with him. I said, what about this? I had about 200 and almost $300,000 of equity in the house. So I said, suppose I borrow enough to pay all your debts off. Just pay it out. Then refinance with you, just refinance, putting you on the loan. And hopefully that maybe in a year's time that you can do it. He said, okay, I'll do that. I said, who wouldn't do that? But then I presented that to the mortgage company and they bought off of it too and thought that they could really help him. Saying all of that to say, in just a day, money's coming back to me from what I've been able to do. So I'm just saying, don't be afraid to give. Step out on faith, and it will work for you every time. So that's my last remark. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, because we cannot outgive God. And when we give, it's Him that we're giving.
Absolutely.
Because, and so we should all remember that. I'm a giver too. I just don't understand why people don't understand.
Me either. I don't
that it's sowing and weeping. It's what it says, sowing and weeping, you know.
And you feel
so
good.
thank you for sharing that. We cannot outgive God. And when we are obedient to Him, He really is faithful.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Dr.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Queen Lillie Lane. That was dynamite out of sight. You were so very explosive today. Oh my goodness. We might have to call you back next week. So between now and next week, write another book.
I am.
Amen. Amen, church. God, that was awesome. That was awesome. Awesome sauce. Wonderful. Okay. King Carlton, how you doing? Still hot? Yep. Definitely. All right. So we're going to bring down the curtains. Remember, there is, sorry, not going to be. Yeah, they are going to be. There will be a webinar on Saturday at that's the 27th. So please check out your OES for the information and pass it on to others. I will be getting my groove on, so I will not be passing on any link. Sorry, my apologies to all of you. So please, ensure if share with each other, because I will not be passing on any link to anybody. So that would not be ethical at all. All right, so I will resurface Monday morning to send out Mindset Monday link. If I don't send it out Friday morning, then I will send it out Monday morning. All right. So because
Dr. Derek, I forgot to say congratulations. I knew you were getting married, but I didn't know Tamaria. That's awesome.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Right. Queen Miriam.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. A long journey. Anyway, yes, thank you all very much for your blessings and your prayers. We need a lot of prayers, Queen Yvonne Finn. I know you
Prayer
are
is
the
the thing.
director.
It's the answer to everything, Dr. Derek. It's the answer.
That's right.
I know you are the director of prayer on Fridays, so please.
Oh, you know that, eh?
Oh yes. You think I sneak in a couple
You
times,
sneaky, do you? I was wondering. I
Sneak
have a
in
feeling
couple
you do.
times.
Yes.
I literally sneak in,
Okay.
under the radar.
Okay.
So,
Well, there you go.
yeah. So
That's
I see you are the director of prayers.
I am.
All right, wonderful. So please, tomorrow morning, um, have me up in prayers there. Have up Queen
I
Miriam
always
in
do, Dr.
prayers.
Derek. I really
Yeah,
always do
man.
for
Thank you very much.
all of the
Thank
many
you.
families that I'm attached to here.
Blessings.
Yeah.
I
But
will
I do
need
have to
double
look.
prayer.
I do have to go now because there are a couple of calls that I keep
Yeah, man.
coming in,
All right.
so I have to return them. So
Blessings.
Queen
I know
Lillie
you
Lane
came here
and Queen
for Queen
Jacqueline,
Lillie
thank you
Lane.
for your absolutely marvelous presentations.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you.
Mm.
Wonderful. Those on YouTube, thank you very much for joining us today again on YouTube. Really appreciate. Thank you very much. Really appreciate. And so at this time, we are closing down the YouTube. There will be a little treat on the after party before we close the curtain down on this side.
Okay.
So those who are on meeting, you can stay tuned. And, thank you all very much. Really appreciate it. So at this time, bye for now on the YouTube channels. Really do appreciate it.